what happens in the process of the work that we do inside, we start understanding certain things, even though we may have heard them before, things such as everything is one. Everything comes from the same source. Everything is light. We start understanding that level. It's kind of a sandwich, right? Then the next level of that sandwich is the middle part, is that you have a certain purpose, that you're unique, that you have value, that is quite unique, that no one else has. That's the center. And the final part of that sandwich is the third, which says that everything that happens has a purpose, has a reason. Right? Those three things, first of all, everything that's ever been created comes from the same source, and everything is one. Second, you have a unique purpose, okay, for being. And the third, everything that ever happens for a reason. Those three things we've heard before, except we begin understanding them differently. How do we begin understanding them differently? It's because that same information we've heard suddenly is being viewed and heard by a different person. And that different person has been molded through the experience of your daily meditation, expanding your self-identity through the new vocabulary of the senses, the way we're doing it. Suddenly, there's nothing else added, nothing else said. Those words that I've just described suddenly gain a whole new meaning for you. And through that sandwich, you feed to all three elephants. That sandwich suddenly enables you to recognize, and I'll explain to you what you start recognizing. I'll still put it in the container of words, but I guarantee you that with every day that we are together, with every day that you do your work at home, with every single day, the meaning of what I'm saying right now will change. Not the words, but the meaning. So the first, that everything is one, gives us the understanding of what we've described, the order of things. We realize that there is one moment of energy that is being filtered through the screens of our karma. And then it's being accepted through the state of our chakras, emotional experience. All 10 chakras, not only the 7 that we know, but the 3 top ones as well, which are the identity, which are the middle sandwich, right? The middle of the sandwich. The middle of the sandwich is that self-identity that is developed in the top 3 chakras, above the 7. Okay? Then it becomes a mind experience. So first that same light, one. Everything is one means that you could measure every single moment of your life anywhere along the line of what I'm describing, along the line of the order of things. You can measure it at the karmic level, which is what the third elephant has the ability to take us to. You can measure it at the level of emotion and thought. What kind of emotions am I experiencing right now? I've related to that one light. That's why it's all united. What kind of emotions am I experiencing? And then what kind of thoughts does that trigger? And then what kind of physical experience it gives me? Does it ache? How does my body respond? Right? My eyes, my heart, my lungs, my cells, my blood, my genes. they're physical. How does my genetic being change through this one? Every single emotional response, every single mental recognition changes your physicality. It affects your physicality, even so little, but it does. And then suddenly, that which defines you, emotionally, mentally, and physically, affects what I call the karmic scales of your action. You take action or you don't take action. For years you don't take action of something, you hold back, or you take action through the filters. You make decisions. I talk about karmic scales is a decision that every single moment you put on those karmic scales, effort against reward. Every single moment you put on karmic scales, efforts against reward, and then you take action or you don't take action, or what type of action you take, or how committed you are to that action is determined by those scales. And those scales are defined by everything that we just described. Karmic energy, we're talking about just one moment. All those different levels of experience. And then, after there's action or non-action, we have an opportunity to judge the world, our reality. Our reality becomes the real mirror of all of that. Suddenly we recognize that everything is one. What is everything? Every single measurement, experience that I'm having is part of one unified field. Now, we could look at it as karma. It starts with karma, right? The order of things. We could look at it as karma of an individual person. We could look at it as karma of a family unit. We could look at it as karma of a nation. Or we could look at it as karma as humanity as a whole. And then suddenly we realize that everything is unified. Everything is one. And that's that first layer of the sandwich. If once we recognize that everything is one, right, and that everything is affected by everything, in that order, it just depends where we measure it, many things we can learn from it.